Some senses never fade. It was supposed to be a quiet spring afternoon. I was walking under the cherry blossoms with my 4-year-old daughter, Luna. We laughed, we played, and for a moment, life felt normal. Then she froze, her nose twitched, her little eyes scanning the air. "Mom, I smell Daddy." The words hit me like ice water. That was impossible. He was gone, buried in the past where I swore he'd stay. What came next dragged us into a nightmare I could never have imagined. A forgotten well. A trapped woman. A secret worth millions. And the man I once married, rich, dangerous, and desperate to keep his lies hidden. He underestimated 2 things: a mother who wouldn't back down, and a little girl with a gift he couldn't escape. My name is Rachel. I'm 30 and live in a small US town with Luna, my whole world. Her father walked out when she was a baby. His family, cold and obsessed with a perfect heir, treated us like a mistake. He never came back, and I never begged. I just promised my daughter a happy life without him. Every spring, we visit the old church down the road to see the cherry blossoms. That day seemed no different until Luna's game of hide-and-seek turned into something else entirely. "Mommy, let's play," she squealed, skipping along the path. Her tiny red backpack bounced with every step. I laughed. "You better run, I'm going to find you fast." But before she could hide, Luna stopped dead. Her smile vanished. She tilted her head like she was listening to something invisible. "What's wrong, baby?" I asked. She sniffed the air. "I smell someone. I smell Daddy." My chest tightened. I looked around, empty churchyard, soft petals drifting in the breeze. No one was there. "Luna, what did you say?" I whispered, crouching to her level. Her voice was calm, almost eerie. "Daddy's here, over there." She pointed to the back of the church, toward the part of the grounds no one visited anymore. Hand in hand, we followed her instinct through the overgrown path. Behind the church, under a massive cherry tree, we found it, an old, sealed well, covered in weeds and cracked stone. The wooden lid was warped and rotting, like it hadn't been touched in years. I felt the first ripple of dread. Something or someone was waiting inside. "There," Luna whispered, pointing to the old well. "Daddy's there, but someone else is, too." Her words made my stomach tighten. "Someone else?" I asked carefully. "What do you mean?" She frowned, her nose twitching. "I don't know, it smells like sadness and blood." A chill ran through me. Keeping my voice calm for Luna's sake, I approached the well. The warped wooden cover was heavier than I expected. With a grunt, I pushed it aside. A wave of damp, sour air rose from the darkness. My heart pounded. I fumbled for my phone, switched on the flashlight, and slowly leaned over the edge. At first, all I saw was darkness and wet stone, then movement. My breath caught as the light found a shape below. A woman. She was curled at the bottom of the well, her arms bound in chains, clothes soaked, face ghost pale. Her cracked lips trembled. "Help," she whispered, voice so faint it barely reached me. "Please." My knees buckled. I yanked Luna close with one arm and fumbled my phone with the other. "Hold on, I'm calling 911. The world blurred into panic, sirens, flashing lights, shouts. Within minutes, the once silent churchyard turned into a rescue scene. Paramedics lowered a harness and lifted the woman out. She shivered violently, murmuring broken words, barely conscious. An officer turned to me. "Do you know her?" I shook my head. "No. I've never seen her before, at least. I don't think I have." Then a paramedic called out from across the yard. "Chloe Bennett, age 29. Bennett." The name hit me like a punch, my ex-husband's last name. Luna clutched my hand as the police questioned me. I explained everything, how Luna led me here, how she could smell things others couldn't. One officer crouched to her level. "You're a little hero," he said softly. Later that night, after the chaos died down, I tucked Luna into bed. She looked at me with wide, worried eyes. "Mommy, is Daddy bad?" My heart ached. "I don't know," Sweetheart, I whispered, stroking her hair, but I promise, we're going to find out the truth. The next morning, I left Luna with a trusted friend and went to the hospital. I needed answers. Chloe was stable, the nurse said, but silent. When I stepped into her room, she was awake, staring at the ceiling, lips dry, arms bruised. I sat beside her, voice soft. Chloe, I'm Rachel, my daughter, and I found you. You're safe now. She didn't speak, but her fingers twitched. I think I know who did this to you, I whispered. It was Lucas, wasn't it? Her eyes fluttered, then blinked once. That was all the confirmation I needed. That night, back home, I found Luna playing on the floor. Her little red backpack sat beside her. When I picked it up to put it away, something inside crinkled. I unzipped the bag and froze. I unzipped the lining and froze. Nestled deep inside was a small black journal. It wasn't Luna's. I had never seen it before. Curiosity prickled through my fear. I opened it and my blood ran cold. Pages and pages of cramped handwriting stared back at me, each ending with the same name, Chloe Bennett. She had recorded everything. How Lucas pressured her into marrying him. How his family demanded a son. How she'd inherited $1.5 million from her grandmother. How Lucas made her sign papers she didn't understand. How, once he had her money, he turned cold. And then, the line that made my breath catch. If I disappear, he did it. My hands trembled. Lucas hadn't just abandoned me all those years ago, he had transformed into something darker. A predator, a monster, and now he was repeating his pattern with Chloe. But this time, we had proof. The next morning, I slipped the journal into my bag and headed for the hospital, ready to hand it to the police. Before I reached the nurse's station, shouting echoed down the hall. I ran to Chloe's room. Lucas had just entered, holding a phone on a selfie stick, his voice loud and theatrical. Chloe, I'm here for you. Everyone, pray for my poor wife. He had no idea I was behind him, watching as he dabbed at his dry eyes for the camera. I stepped into the doorway. You're unbelievable. He whirled around, startled. Rachel, what are you doing here? I held up the black journal. You should be careful who you hurt. Sometimes, they leave behind a record. His smirk wavered. What is that? Chloe's journal, I said evenly. She wrote everything, how you tricked her, how you used her, how you chained her in that well. His face went chalk white. That's a lie, he barked. You planted that. You're obsessed with me, you're framing me. I almost laughed. Your biggest mistake? You just admitted she was chained. That detail was never public. Only the police, me, and the person who put her there would know it. His jaw fell open. Then, a soft, steady voice rose behind him. Too bad for you, Lucas. I've been awake the whole time. Chloe slowly sat up in bed, holding my phone, its camera pointed straight at him. I live-streamed your whole performance, she whispered. Lucas's face crumpled into pure panic. The police investigation moved quickly. Forensic evidence and Chloe's livestream left no room for doubt. The video captured the exact moment Lucas shoved her into the well. Detectives also uncovered her signature on forged financial documents and traced every dollar of her $1.5 million inheritance into Lucas's secret accounts. By evening, the case grew darker. Lucas's mother, Mrs. Bennett, was arrested for conspiracy. She had been the one sedating Chloe, hiding her in the house, while Lucas plotted his next move. That night, I went to pick up Luna. The moment she saw me, she ran into my arms. Did we help that lady, Mommy? She whispered against my neck. I nodded, holding her tightly. Yes, sweetheart, you helped save her life. Her little face lit up with a shy smile before she buried it into my shoulder. Weeks later, the trial was over almost as quickly as it began. With the journal, the live stream, and witness testimony, Lucas didn't stand a chance. He was convicted on multiple charges: attempted murder, fraud and inheritance theft, unlawful imprisonment. The judge sentenced him to 25 years without parole. Mrs. Bennett received 10 years for her role in the cover-up. The court restored Chloe's inheritance in full and seized part of Lucas's family assets to cover damages. Chloe filed for divorce immediately. She donated a portion of her inheritance to a women's shelter and used the rest to buy a quiet new home. She even invited Luna and me to live nearby. Over time, we became close, like sisters who had weathered the same storm. Spring arrived in a shower of cherry blossoms. One afternoon, Luna and I returned to the same church where everything had started. Her red backpack bounced against her shoulders, and this time, she seemed lighter, freer. "Do you miss your special nose?" I teased as we walked beneath the trees. She shook her head, smiling. "No, I only needed it that one time, to help someone, that's enough." I hugged her as the breeze scattered pink petals around us. Chloe joined us on the grass with a gentle smile, and together, we shared rice balls under the blossoms. We had endured pain, betrayal, and fear. But at last, we had peace.